Hey, there's what it looks like outside. That's Tuesday morning, 9 o'clock now. Yeah, number two made it to school. She told me a half hour ago it's snowing there. Everything here is actually covered in ice. There's some of the stuff's dripping off that tin right there because the sun's been hitting it pretty good till last few minutes. It's kind of faded out. So yay, we get to deal with the slick stuff. One of number one's better half's drivers sent me a link earlier from the Wash Coast Scanner, which is a deal on the computer that the county does for, tells you what the cops might be doing if there's something plugged up, but it tells you about the roads. That was an hour ago, and there were multiple cars in the ditch between here and town, and 5 or 6 big wrecks. And number one said she's already passed 2 pretty good wrecks, so yay. I got some cutting done last night. I cut pretty much all the stuff that was dry. That stuff down there is still wet. It ain't near as wet as it was. Took a little while to find my nail gun. It got moved from where it used to be, and then I thought it was going to go upstairs with the construction stuff, which is right up there behind the wall. It wasn't there. It was over in the corner with the big impact guns. But I just thought I'd let you know it's the slicky slidey stuff today. And of course, today's the day my new tires for my pickup are supposed to be in, and I was going to get them on as soon as they came in. And I just don't know that I'm going to be able to make it out there on the racing slicks that I've got. At least not at the moment. And yeah, I got those knocked off. Quite a bit of tension on those, so that long stretch of frame with no cross members is, I think, bowed out a little bit. Is what it is. It'll go back together anyway. So that's my thing for today so far. Just to let you know, I actually got started on some cribbing. I got like half a pallet full of nails for these things. Brother-in-law bought a pallet from the supplier he deals with. Got a deal on it because half of what was on the pallet he really kind of needed, and he ended up getting what he needed for about half price. Then he says, hey, I got these strip nails. He says, they won't run in my gun. We got almost the same gun. They require the same specs. His won't run it. Mine runs it fine. So he kept getting misfires. So he gave me all of it. I just got to figure out where the open box is. It should be here in the shop. And I guess that's it for now. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. Everybody had some trouble commenting on a couple of my videos, especially the one with the new tires on the skid steer. I noticed everybody got to be first because YouTube put all of you in jail. They put you all in solitary. All you could see was your own. I couldn't even see anybody's but my own. I finally found that they set all of the comments for that video off to review. Well, they don't tell me that. I ended up having to go through each and every video recently that has had issues, and I finally figured out how to get to where I could see all that, and literally spent 3 hours last night checking off every single one of them one at a time, because it wouldn't let me do it 2 at a time, of course, or do all of them at once. It was 1 at a time. So all of you are now on that. So if you want to go see what everybody had to say, go check it out. It was the one with the new tires on the skid steer. And the video after that, it let a few comment, but not everybody. So I think it was Buggy number 5. There was, I don't know, 15 or 20 comments anyway of that were hidden. Apparently they really got something in for my stalker, because Murphy had a whole bunch of stuff that was there. They even put 7 or 8 of his comments into spam. It's like, really? Go back and look. You can start at probably my very first video, and Murphy has multiple comments on almost every one of them. He's pretty good at keeping up on stuff. So anyway, that's it for now. I don't know how far we're going to get on this. We got to feed today, and it's going to be all little bales, and it's in all but one feeder. The only thing we don't have to feed is the bulls. So that's going to take some time. And I haven't even fed grain yet because number 2 usually has that done, or number 1 usually has that done by now. So I'm just waiting for her. When she gets here, we can feed grain and lock the cows out of the feed barn and go from there. So anyway, all that white stuff that all of you have been playing with, yeah, we're finally getting some here. It's just not right here. My wife went to work late this morning. She got there about 10 minutes ago. She said it is snowing and sticking on the streets in town, so yay. And like I said, I'm the one with the racing slicks on this pickup. That's the whole reason I was finally going to get tires. I try not to get them too soon. Cost too much money. I don't know, $250, $300 a piece for the stupid things. Almost buy truck tires cheaper. But, all right, I got to get some cribbing made because not that I don't trust this. I trust it, but I'm just going to make sure it can't go anywhere. And cribbing blocks out of these 2x is a long time coming. I mean, these boards have been here for a year and a half because we kind of need it for another project, but we got by. Actually, I really should have had some when I worked on the service truck, but it was a little more stable in the front than this. We got this thing blocked. It can't go anywhere, but, get horsing around in here or something and somebody bumps into it too hard, it can knock it off the blocks, and I don't want that either. I thought we were going to tip it over yesterday, trying to keep it strapped to the forks so the forks would support it back here and keep that from letting it roll sideways up there. And of course, when I backed out, it leaned hard to the left. It was fun. I wish we could have got more video of that, but I don't want to waste all day on a video. I already got over 7 minutes so far, so we'll try not to make them too awful long. Drives me crazy. And I don't think that's number 1 yet. She should, as fast as she said she wasn't going and as bad as the roads are. But it could be. Yeah. She made it past the wreck, so I know there was at least 2 of them she had to go past yet. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I'll get some more with this. Hey, we're having fun. Ben ended up not working today. Something about all there's too much snow around the shop, and everything he was working on was outside. So I said, hey, you want to do some cleaning? And he came with his own needle scaler. I didn't know that, so he says, oh, I got one. So we're double dutying it. I got our big one. He's got a little hobo freight one. This is what I'm getting. And I think he started at the back. All he's got rust like this side is. We just took a little break. I can only handle so much standing in the wrong position for so long. So hey, we're winding on something anyway. Still a long ways to go. Hands are vibrating, arms are vibrating. Back is killing me. So when I get bad enough, I'll sit down and do the low stuff. I'm hoping I can finish this little spot before I gotta sit down. But this is what a needle scaler does. Does a good job. But that's how it works. So I love it for this stuff. Just gotta make sure you got your eyeball covers on, and real rusty stuff, definitely wear a mask. Oh yeah, and my shirt is zipped right up to the neck. Otherwise I'd be wearing it all. So more to come. Hey, guess what? Ben says he's had enough and I've had enough. So I showed you a little bit. I think it was a spot about right in here where I tried to film myself one-handing it with the deal. That's how it all came out. No, they don't get all the paint off. It actually beats some of the paint into the metal, and that's fine. because part of that'll wipe off with some paint thinner when we go to clean it up to paint it. Now I got it cleaned up around all these welds so I can take the grinder to those. I made it back to, and this was the worst side, you can see where that plate was. I made it back to here, right there where my gloves are sitting, as far as I did, and I was going to do this, but we took a little break, and yeah, it's 5:30. I've had enough. Ben's little needle scaler does pretty good. I tried it on this side, actually right in here where it was about the worst. And they say this side was the worst anyway. And it got most of it. I took ours to it and just did a really quick pass over and it was done. I'm thinking about telling number one, she's going to be in here standing inside that. Well, she'll probably sit on the little chair that's the back of it right there by the front tire. That's what it's made for, is getting in places like this. She may end up sitting on there for a couple hours. This is, Ben started back here and worked his way forward, and I'm happy with it. There's some here I'm going to go over right in there. Take the bigger one to it. And hey, he just laid it down. There's the baby scaler. That's a Hobo Freight, $30 one. But he made it up to where he's got it sitting. Looks pretty good. Right there, what's in the screen. There's just right there. I don't know, about 2 feet. Hit that again. No big deal. He got that much done, though. That's that much I don't have to do. That much number one doesn't have to protest about. Because God knows she'll protest. I don't want to do that, Dad. I got to do this. Or no, you do this. Maybe I'll run and get those tires on my truck tomorrow if the weather's suitable. I guess the roads are thawed out now, but they're going to be froze back up here in a little bit. Keep in mind, they were all wet. She got home and sent me a text and says, yeah, the roads were all fine. No more ice. But it's going to be froze back up here in a couple hours, and it's going to be a mess. And yeah, there's only a little bit of stuff on the floor. I made a sawdust mess cutting for the cribbing blocks. I know they're not all the way up there. I don't want to make them any taller than that. We'll throw some 6x on top. And I swept everything on underneath the chassis, and it was clean. The floor was clean, clear back. So that's what I got off this side. You really see it where the paint was. So, more to come. I don't want to put too many videos up in just a few days. Got to give you guys a chance to see somebody else's videos. You know, I don't want to hog everything. So, like I say, that's it. I'm done for the day. I'm going to go see if I can find a warm spot and find something hot to eat. So, I'll get you some more tomorrow. Maybe it'll all be cleaned up by the time I do it tomorrow. Who knows? But for now, there's more coming. Quickie, Wednesday morning. I finished up the other side this morning, made it across the back. And from there to, yeah, you can see right there. That's how far Ben made it with his little scaler yesterday. It's actually, I'm cruising right along where he was here where it was bad. But you can see the difference. This was in the worst part of this side where the plate was on the outside of it. I got a little back here, not a lot. I mean, I could kind of see a difference. I don't know how much was my imagination, but up here, it's a pretty good difference. And, but I'm cruising across it pretty fast. I haven't been at it that long. Just got back in from helping number one get feeding done and taking care of that cow. So back at it. I already told her she gets to do the inside of the frame. And I think I said yesterday that low riding chair would be a good one, but I got to thinking about it. Really, she's probably better off in the chair I'm in. Just slip it inside there, because the low rider, she'll be sitting too low and everything will be coming right into her face. So anyway, that's what we're doing. Still working on her. Like I got anything else to do, right? Mix feed, work ground if it was able to, but even though it's froze over hard this morning, I guarantee you get out there and start moving and fall right through it. That's where it'd be till spring. So anyway, we'll see if we can't get most of this cleaned up today. It'd be nice. If I get her started on the inside, I can get started on the grinder cleaning stuff up, I hope. So get her cleaned up and get you another shot of it. Crap. One of my needles decided to fall out. Not sure how they're held in there. Don't even know if I can get parts for that thing. Outfit we bought that from closed, I don't know, 10 years ago after Hobo Freight moved in half a block away. Used to be a really good tool store in town. I don't even know if there's a brand name on it. I figure I'll take it apart. There's a clip in the end of it. See how that comes out. See if maybe I can weld that back on and not have issues. So, the inside of the frame is not done yet. The whole outside is done. I even got most of in here. There's that much on both sides of the neck that are not done on the inside. Don't have the bottom of that wheel support, front end support. It isn't done yet either. I did weasel in there. I didn't go up, just down. Some of the paint's on there good. It ain't gonna come off. Something I was noticing. Yeah, I get the tire off and I can get inside there too. Got all in here. Well, I had to take that phone call. That was my tire man telling me my pickup tires are finally there. Had snow this morning for a little while. And now that I got my earplugs out, I can hear that it's raining pretty good. Raining good enough that I hear the drip going into that bucket. I hope that's where it's at anyway. So, yeah. It's not uncommon when equipment gets built. A lot of the stuff, you know, they may get it so far together and have to roll it out of the way and work on another, and they'll set outside. Get a little surface rust, and a lot of times you just wipe her over with some paint thinner. When it's dry, you paint it. I think that's pretty much what they did, because a lot of it, you can see there's some surface rust, but you can also see where they cleaned up stuff with the grinder, and it's nice and shiny and neat. So, you know, maybe they started with stuff that wasn't clean. Who knows? I don't know. Guessing the transition here from the channel into the neck. I'm not sure what that is. It seems a little hard for Bondo, but they did smear some stuff in to make it pretty. That's all right. I think it's kind of smeared around up a little higher, because you can see in here, the other side you can see better, but you can see where they went to sand it off with the grinder or whatever they were using, and I think that's what's up here. So it was stuck to the grinder or the sanding disc when they did it. And I might have missed a spot. Dang. I swear I went over that. Sure doesn't look like it though. Of course, right there don't look. I don't know. The whole thing, after it's done this far, we'll take the wire wheel over it just because it leaves some dimples and there's still some paint stuck, a little rust just sitting there, stuff that won't wipe off easy. So. And I gotta take the grinder to the weld jet anyway. I was hoping number one was gonna do some of the scaling on this today, and I was gonna start grinding, but yeah, they're getting more snow up there where she lives, and she wanted to be able to make sure she could make it home in the daylight. And her mother says, "Hey, can you stop by the bank for me?" So, it happened. I just know that I hurt contortioning and standing in one spot too long. And any of you ever run a air hammer? Well, that's all that thing is. Just got needles on it instead of a spike on the end. When it's running 3 or 4 or 5 hours straight, you don't let go of the trigger. Your hands tend to hurt a little bit. So is everything else. So. But I'm happy with the way everything's looking. And some of that doesn't look like I hit it very well, but like I said, I know I hit it. That come out pretty good in there. I'm not sure why there's white showing in there. It's kind of like up here. If there was some white paint involved somewhere along the line or what. Not sure if red was the base paint or if blue was. They're both on here. Some places the blue was underneath. Some places the blue seemed like it was more on top of some of the reds. So I don't know. They could have used a red primer and blue paint, then went red later. And we found some screws. That's why there's a hole there. And a hole there. And a hole there. I'm assuming they must have had a stamped name tag on the side. I'd love to find some actual pictures of some of the old Wolverines and find out for sure, because all we got is the lubrication table that was on the side of the cab, the head of the door. And on this side you could see where there was a sticker, just about the length of the screen there. So other than that, there's no markings anywhere. The only reason I know it's Wolverine is because that's what it said on the cab. And something else I noticed, was thinking about, they put a brace in here to support it. It's they could have cut a little more clearance for that to go through, but I don't see where it's rubbed much. They did put a grease zerk in it, and the pins there. Pins welded in from the bottom, bushings is welded in from the top. Because my thought was, oh, well, we'll just drop that thing out of there. Yeah, not so easy, because the pin's welded in. And this is just bolted on back here, but there's also a little weld there. And I really don't want to cut that if I don't have to. And that appears to be I'm sure it's malleable, but it's a cast piece. May have been something made for something else that they got a hold of to use, because you can see they cut it here to bend it, wedged a piece in, and they trimmed it off here, and they cut out for that piece to go up to the pin. So I'm kind of guessing that was, they added this piece though, it's welded in, but this piece, I don't know. Maybe it's just a piece of angle iron, but yeah, I don't know. Could be. Except this end seems kind of funny because it's not. And there is a number in it right there. but that's what it is. So just give you another update. Tomorrow, hopefully, all the scaling will be done. I haven't heard back on an engine for this yet. I did hear from one spot I was looking for an engine, but I don't think it's going to be enough horsepower. Guessing it might be a Isuzu or something similar. Diesel engine off a reefer trailer. But most of those are only 40 to 60 horse, and if I had two of them to put in here, that'd probably work. Oh yeah, and I knew there was a crack there. I'm not sure how far down it goes, but I'm going to take her down there, cut her down probably an inch and fill it back in. Probably cut most of that weld out, just redo it. Do the same thing on the other side. When I'm done, you'll never know it was there. That's my plan anyway. And something I didn't even know was there till running the scaler over stuff is that nub sticking out. I'll melt that off. Just more fun. Would be nice if that was an easier way to get that yoke off. Finish cleaning stuff up on it easier, but it'll work. I think get that wheel out of there and get her blocked up good. I think we can just turn that enough to get to clean stuff up and have a little fun. Then I got to find another set of big bearings or a set of bearings and make an adapter. Of course, then I was also thinking now would be the time to convert that yoke to an air ride. I'm just not real sure everything I need to do that, other than a set of airbags and some tubing. Something to think about. I know I wish I had it on the other one. I get in. Pastures are probably the worst thing. And where we sit right on the front tire almost on the other rig. It's rougher than rough. But, you know, tires only give so much. Okay, that's enough rambling. I'm going to go out in the rain, and hopefully number 2 is headed down to the barn to feed by now. I asked her if she would. I'll go give her a hand and get that cow treated. Oh yeah, by the way, see, radiator's out too. In case you hadn't noticed that. Laying over there. Still looks good. We'll blow her off and wash her up and probably run some water through it just to make sure everything's open good. And cap her off and see if she'll hold a little bit of pressure. I'm not going to worry about it quite yet, but it needs to get done. And the floor did get cleaned up today. Can't tell it. It did. So, okay, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Every little thing helps. Ring the bell and we go from there, and maybe you can enjoy the ride. I hope you do. You know, keep it real and try to make sure it's fun. Because if it ain't real fun, there ain't no sense in doing it, right? Yeah, I know there's some jobs that aren't fun at all, but you still got to do them. Comes to painting this thing, I'm going to hate it. We're not exactly set up to paint in here, can you tell? Usually we'll bring a couple tarps in and at least cover the toolboxes and the bench. And this is going to be a lot of fogging because there's a lot of it. It's going to be hard to get into. Most of it will be in the open. Get that front end blocked up where that thing will turn will be a lot easier, even though it only turns so far because of the stops. And I don't know if I want to modify those or not. I think for now I'm going to leave them alone. We'll see how she turns. Sometimes they turn nice, sometimes they don't. So, okay. That's it for tonight. It's Wednesday night, the 15th of January, 2020. Hopefully the project gets done sooner than later. Biggest thing now is finding an engine. So, thanks for watching again. Bye.